You know, making a good film is like writing a good song. You got to have a good idea and communicate a message. And our next guest is known as both an excellent film director and a fine actor. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Dennis Hopper. Hey, Dennis. Welcome. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Glad to have you with us. You did it.
I'm so glad to be here. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Hope we didn't come from the kitchen.
I don't know. June's in the kitchen. It may have. You did a movie called Easy Rider, and you just finished one called The Last Movie in Peru. Is that right?
Yep.
The Last Movie is the name of the movie.
And Chris was down there.
Chris
Christopherson.
Yeah.
He wrote some of the last songs for the last movie.
June and I were out. We drove up to Taos one day in New Mexico. Looked for you. Never did see you.
You making that film down there with Kirk Douglas.
Right. We did a film.
It's good. What's the name of it?
A Gunfight.
Gunfight. Good. Yeah. You got to be a great actor.
Well, I don't know
When you're a
about
great
that.
singer, you
I
got to
had
be a
fun
great
doing
actor.
it.
It's the same thing.
Thank you
I
very
can't
much.
sing, but
That's
it's the
very
same
nice.
thing.
Hey, Chris wrote a song about you, though. Did you know that?
Well, he sort of put us in a wearing blender, I think, and like scrambled it up.
I think
he
so.
put himself in there too.
I recognized a few of the lines
Yeah.
from that song. Hey, see him wasted on the sidewalk in his jacket and his jeans, wearing yesterday's misfortunes like a smile.
Once he had a future full of money, love, and dreams, which he spent like they was going out of style.
And he keeps right on a-changing for the better or the worse, and searching for a shrine he's never found.
Never knowing if believing is a blessing or a curse,
Or if the going up is worth the coming down. Oh, he's a poet,
He's a picker, he's a prophet,
he's a pusher,
a
he's a
snicker,
pilgrim and a preacher, and the problem when he's stoned, he's a walking contradiction, partly truth and partly fiction, taking every wrong direction on his lonely way back home. Oh, he's a poet,
he's a picker, he's a prophet,
he's a pumper, he's a pilgrim and the preacher, and the problem when he's stoned, he's a walking contradiction, partly truth and partly fiction, taking every wrong direction on his lonely way back home. Hey, Dennis, did you ever get lost going from the house to the mailbox
I have.
in broad daylight?
Most of the time.
Hey, you got something else you want to do
Yeah.
for us? We'd love to hear
I got something I want to do for you. And I
Okay.
think it's something that you and I and everybody here can understand. It's an Englishman wrote it, but it's the middle word in life in the English language, and it's called if. If is the middle word
We
in
got a
life.
special spot for you. Dennis
Thank
Hopper,
you.
ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen.
If you can keep your head when all about you losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for the doubting too. Or being lied about. Don't deal in lies. Or being hated. Don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream, but not make dreams your master. If you can think, but not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster, and you just treat these two imposters just the same. Or bear to hear the truth that you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. Or watch the things that you've given your life to broken and stoop and build them up again with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings, and risk it in one turn of pitch and toss and lose, start again at your beginnings. Never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and your nerve and your sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings but never lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distant run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you're going to be a man, my son.
Thank you. I want to remember that to tell John Carter someday. Thank you, Danny.
Hey! Well, my daddy left home when I was 3. Didn't leave very much for my ma and me. Just a slow guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now, I don't blame him because he running hit, but the meanest thing that my daddy did before he left, he named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from lots of folks. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd turn red, and some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I'll tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. But I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard, my wits got keen. I roamed from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and stars, I'd search the honky-tonks and bars and kill that man and give me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town and my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a brew at an old saloon on a street of mud, and there at a table dealing stud sat the dirty mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother had. I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold. I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you're gonna die." Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, came up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. Then I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we crashed through the walls and into the street, kicking and a gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. Well, I'll tell you, I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. Well, I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss, and he reached for his gun, but I blew mine first. He stood there looking at me and I saw him smile. He said, "Son, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough." And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I gave you that name and I said goodbye, and I knew you'd have to get tough or die. It's that name that'll help to make you strong. He said, "Now you've just fought one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your gut and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the that named you Sue. What could I do? Well, I got all choked up and I threw down my gun. I called him my pa and he called me his son, and I come away with a different point of view. And I think about it now and every time I try and every time I win. If I ever have a boy, I'll just name him John Carter. There's a sound you don't hear very much anymore. That's the sound of the alto harp played by Mother Maybelle Carter, the way she's been doing. Mother Maybelle and the Carter family. Saved, it's worth it all. And the aisles were always filled at altar call. Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man. He preached the word of God throughout the land. He preached the plain a child could understand. Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on an old-time preacher man. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Good night, Bill Walker.